Hello again, everyone. It's still Sunday, and I'm just going to get right into it. Just reading some articles earlier, and Canadian government officials are, some at least, are saying that a lack of action on the supply chain, plus other factors, are leading to quote unquote empty shelves being the norm. I think you could say the same thing for the United States. Not everywhere, of course. I know I hear from some of you guys that in the United States and even Canada, that right now at least your stores are fully stocked like it looked in 2018 or early 2019. That's awesome. I mean, you're blessed. I hope that continues. I know it can be different in different places in the countries, and that's both for United States and Canada. This particular article concentrated on Canada, but I think a lot of it could be said for us too here in the United States. It said that inflation in Canada is also hitting a 30-year high. Not surprising. You got thousands of truckers that are forced off the roads due to the mandates. You also got thousands of truckers, I saw this too, that are heading towards Ottawa, Canada, to protest the mandates. So that should be interesting. They're heading there this weekend and trying to get there by latter part of this coming week to protest that. You got mandates in effect for going both directions, in the United States and Canada, as far as truckers. That is in effect now. The one for the United States went into effect actually yesterday. So you got about 2 weeks, maybe less than that, from what I'm hearing, before you see even more of an impact in your stores. Okay. I was watching some videos last night, of truckers. These were Canadian truckers, I believe, all of them were. And they might be mostly independent drivers. Not sure, not all of them, but they were saying all the same thing, that they're parked, they're done. While as long as this mandate's in effect, they're not driving. And that's a lot of goods, not just food, but that's a lot of goods, consumer goods not getting in both directions. So, and one guy said, you got about 2 weeks before you see a big difference. And, it covers all kinds of items. Um, I know in Canada, they're probably going to be, especially vegetables, because they rely a lot on United States and Mexico for vegetables, for fresh vegetables, produce. So that they will see that hit them harder than even the United States. The United States still has, you got California, we get a lot from Mexico and Central America as well, but we'll still feel it too. Um, Protests, speaking of protests, you got a lot of protests going on. I've noticed around the world. I mean, it's Europe, Belgium. I saw something this morning on that. A bunch of folks. France. How about France? Man, kicking it up. Uh, there was some other places. I want to say Germany, maybe. Um, Austria. Washington, D.C. is supposed to have protests today. That could be interesting. That might be something to really keep an eye on. There was another article that talked about dairy and fresh produce expected to hit, Canada really hard. I kind of mentioned that already, but it mentioned inflation a lot too. It said that impact of the increasing pace of inflation will have on food prices is significant. They talked about 7%. I don't know where they're getting that number. I mean, I think I saw 7% increase last week, over the last week or two, here, especially in the United States. Um, Factors related to the latest variant and a lot of people being sick has completely paralyzed the food economy. That's why we're seeing a lot of bare shelves, said one official. Now, this is in Canada. They said we're expecting some stores to temporarily close in parts of the country. Empty shelves increasingly being the norm, even greater rise in food prices is on the horizon. Blame it on, several things. Ongoing supply chain issues, of course, mandate for truckers, and even weather conditions. So 7%, man. Um, I think it's way more than that, but yeah. I'm hearing from a lot of you guys too, as far as what you're seeing. I did hear from a couple of viewers. One is a Walmart employee, I forgot which state, but said that their grocery trucks are getting are very light here lately. Um, and the most of the shortages I'm hearing about are Walmart and Kroger. I'm seeing it in Kroger here. Uh, One of you told me that at a Walmart in Ohio that you think that the store overall was, especially groceries, was only about 50% stocked maximum, and that's being kind. Um, no chicken, no beef, dairy, in general low, juices, things like biscuits, cookie dough, bread, even lunch meats. And I know what Mrs. Dawg and I are noticing, and we were out yesterday at some places, is especially items that are of convenience, things that are packaged for convenience, like your Lunchables or lunch meat stuff, packaged snacks, the juices in the box, that kind of stuff. Even juices in the dairy, that looks low too. And milk, frozen foods, pet food, meat, fresh meat. We went to an Ingles yesterday, and the fresh meat, even there, it's always stocked up full here, even here lately. But yesterday was a different story. Okay, they had some chicken, not much to choose from though, so that was a little surprising. We did score some Keystone in the can section. They were stocked up on Keystone, all the meats, the beef, the ground beef in the can, chicken, turkey, and we grabbed some of that. So, and they're usually out of it. So they did have it yesterday. I don't know how long. Maybe they just got a little shipment in. Maybe we got lucky. Paper products noticed that as well, getting low. Still had some on the counter. They weren't cleaned out. Other factors to think about, other than trucker mandates, you got the ongoing supply chain screwed up. Um, if things get hot over there with Russia and Ukraine, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. If that thing gets going, and I have a bad feeling about it. Things look like they're deteriorating there as far as diplomacy is concerned. I mentioned in the last video, you got countries clearing out their embassies there. Not a good sign. I think if it does get hot, you'll see cyber attacks like crazy all over the place. Banks could close. Prepare. Just keep preparing for that. Keep not just stacking, but prepare for not being able to access your bank if you can, or as best you can. Gasoline could skyrocket. Not just food, but the fuel could keep going up. I know we talk about growing your own food, local is big. Think about the box. I mean, start thinking about what you can barter, because we may start having to barter here sooner than you may believe. So think about where you live, your neighbors. I know we have some neighbors that have gardens here too. And I know even last year we did some trading. I mean, we had a bunch of green beans and squash, and we traded that for tomatoes, because we can't grow tomatoes for nothing. I don't know why. I've tried. Don't know what it is. But my neighbor grows tomatoes like there's nobody's business. So we did some trading there as well. And, just little conversations can turn into something like that. So think about that. Who's around you? Or is there a farmer's market near you? Or is there somebody that can process meat near you? Just be thinking about that, more local. I think that's going to be the key for us in a lot of different ways on multiple levels. So share your thoughts on all that. Share what you're seeing out there in the stores. If it looks stocked up, it looks good, share that too. So I would appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments. Have a good rest of your day. God bless you. I'll see you soon.